Somebody tell me the difference between an equation and an inequality.
Equation and inequality.
The inequality, Sienna
said,
has the greater than or less than signs, okay? So there's a range of numbers that work for these. We need to review, because I know if you had Mr. Tate that you've done this. He's doing this right now with systems of linear inequalities. Now we're going to do quadratic. So first off, if I just have greater than or less than, there's no equal to. What kind of lines do I have?
Linear.
Not linear. There was two types of lines that you could draw with inequalities. One went with the non-equal and one went with the equal. Huh? It was how you drew your lines when you went to graph it.
Awful God. Mr. Tate taught it last year.
I know he did because he's teaching it right now. I walked in on his first period. I said, oh, what are you doing today? And they're doing systems of linears. Okay, remember, if there's no solid line underneath the symbols, you have a dotted or a dashed line. Okay, you didn't make it solid because nothing that lands on that line is part of it. So I don't care if you write here dotted or dashed, whatever you like to fill that in. So if you have that equal sign, and the way I had them remember it, if you have the solid line at the bottom, then it's a solid line on your graph. If that solid line is missing, then it is a dotted or a dashed line on your graph. Okay. These symbols here, when the arrow points to the left, what are those symbols? If they're pointing to the left, think about it, they're pointing to the left. So they're less than. If they point to the left, that means less than, which means we shade below the sign. If it's pointing to the right, that means it's greater than. So we shade above. We then darken the region where both inequalities are shaded. And if the two shaded areas do not overlap at all, then the inequalities have no solutions. Okay, so what you're looking for in a system of inequalities is whether or not your shaded regions overlap. Okay, best part is your calculator even shades for you. And I'm going to show you how we do that. Okay, so I'm not going to make you graph these. We're going to do just like we did yesterday. Okay, and we're going to talk about them. So example number 5, you still need to make sure that your equations are set to y first before we can do anything. Are both of my equations set to y for 5a? Yeah. Yes. Okay, so I want you to go ahead into y equals and plug these two equations in. So you're going to come here. You've got x squared minus 3x minus 4. And if you come down to the second one, we've got negative 0.5 x squared plus 6. Stay on your y equals screen once you have that. Don't move. Because you now are going to tell your calculator how to shade.
How to shade.
So your first equation, x squared minus 3x minus 4. What is my inequality symbol there? Is that greater than or less than? Greater than. Okay, so that means we shade above or below? Above. So what I want you to do is I want you to arrow this over to the side here. And go right beside where y1 is, where you plugged in that equation. I want you to hit enter. See how that line got a little bit thicker and darker? Okay. We don't need that one. This is shade above. Okay, so you want that inequality to shade above. Now you're going to go down beside your second inequality that you plugged in. What inequality symbol is there? Less than. So you're going to hit it so the bottom is shaded. So you're going to hit enter. That gives you your darkened line. There's shade above. There is shade below. Okay. So everybody got those symbols in?
Yeah.
Now hit graph. There's your shade above. There's your shade below. Everything that is in this doubled up region right here is a solution to your graph. Your calculator is smart, but it's only as smart as you are. If you don't know how to use the buttons, it's useless to you. Okay. So you're never going to have to graph these on your test. They may give you this graph, and they may ask you a question like, does the point 0, 0, is that a solution? And you would answer yes. 0, 0 is right here. It's in your double shaded region, so yes, it is a solution. If I gave you a point like, I don't know, 7, -2, that's somewhere out in here. That's not a solution. Okay, so your only solutions are the numbers that fall in that double shaded region. Okay, questions? Okay. So actually, I want you to go ahead and draw yourself a rough sketch. Okay, it doesn't have to be pretty.
It doesn't have to be pretty.
That's right.
Gang.
Okay, remember when you draw that first parabola, it should be a dotted line. And when you draw your second parabola, it should be a solid line. And then just shade in your double shaded region. So my graph's not perfect. I didn't plot points. I just want you to be able to tell what you're looking for.
It looks like a basketball court.
Kind of does. Kind of does.
Free throw line. Kristen, you playing in that student versus teacher game? I didn't sign up for it. You playing? Well, no, go ahead and get crossed. Since you got skills.
I would travel because I can't bounce a ball and run at the same time. Too fat for that. 2, I would trip over the ball as I'm running because I'm not coordinated.
You know?
I play the clarinet. I did a marching band. I don't do sports.
You do soccer. You know how to kick the ball.
Yeah. That don't mean I can like backpedal and stuff on. No, can't do that. Okay. Let's talk about this one. The first graph. Should that have a solid or a dotted line for that first equation? This should be a solid line. Your second equation, y is less than x squared. That should be a dotted line.
Put this in your calculator.
Okay. The first one, do I shade above or below?
Below.
This first one, above. We shade above, and the second one we shade below. So let's plug this in and see what it looks like. So back to y equals. We've got x squared minus 8. And I already have it set to shade above. Well, no, sorry, I cleared it out. Make sure you go back when you clear it out and change it to shade above. All you do is scroll over to where the line is and hit enter until you get what you want. Your second one is shade below. And that one is just x squared. Tired.
Yes, I have.
It covers the whole.
Right, I'm tired. I ain't go to sleep till 1 last night because I did home.
Wow.
Well, that one's pretty cool.
What is this?
Okay, this one's pretty cool. So this big quadratic you've got right here, that was shifted down by 8, because we got x squared minus 8, which means it shifted down by 8. Shaded up in between the lines. Your other one is your parent function, x squared here, and it's shaded outside. So your double shaded region is like a U shape going on there. Okay. So draw yourself a rough sketch of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
It looks like a rocket ship.
It looks like a rocket ship.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
It's going turbo speed.
Turbo speed.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you graph it, it should look something like this. Okay. We only care about that double shaded region.
Oh, wait,
Earbuds. Yeah. I've asked several times. Pick it up from Miss Curry tomorrow.
Dang.
Sick. Well, you ain't get that back until Monday.
Oh.
Your mama's gonna be like, where your phone? Where's your phone?
Okay, we've got 2 more, and then you guys are going to review.
On our own.
I'm going to go over one of each method with you before you review on your own. But yeah, basically on your own. Okay, 5C. Y is greater than x squared plus 2x minus 3. What kind of line do I have? This is a dotted line. And am I shading above or below? Above. The second one, less than or equal to. Solid line. And we're shading below. Okay.
Above.
Dotted and above, solid and below. Go ahead and plug it into your calculator. Let's see what it looks like.
We ain't in a rush, girl.
Stephon, why do you not even have a calculator out on your desk,
I
sir?
do have a calculator.
Okay, well, let's plug this in instead of sitting there.
My calculator don't work.
Somebody took the batteries out.
Bro.
X squared. X squared plus
Okay.
2, 4x minus 3.
Your graph should look something like this. Again, your solutions are in that overlapped region. Draw yourself a rough sketch of what this looks like.
It looks like Charlie.
Looks like what? Mine looks like this. Again, it's not the greatest drawing in the entire world. And it's not very accurate because I didn't plot points. But again, your final exam is not going to make you plot points. You're probably going to have to look at a graph and tell me what your solutions are.
No.
Okay, they may give you 4 solutions and you have to find the one that is a solution or find the one that is not.
No.
Miss Smith, I think I need to go.
Think you need to what?
Go to the doctor. Why you need to go to the doctor?
I think you killed it.
Make yourself go to the doctor then, friend.
I gotta go to the doctor.
Plug in that second one for me. That last one.
You gotta wake up. It's just us.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Blue.
Do I not have any tissues?
I didn't see it.
I was trying to figure out why you were trying to blow your nose with that really
And
hard
after we finish this,
napkin. So we finish this last one. I'd appreciate that. I want. Okay, this last one, top one. What kind of line and how am I shading?
Greater.
Solid
Solid.
and above.
Yeah.
Oh.
Solid and above. It's greater than or equal to, so that makes it solid. And the greater than makes it above. The second one.
Below dotted.
Below and dotted. Good. Okay, so when you plug this in, got 1/4. Remember, 1/4 is just 1 divided by 4 in your calculator. X squared minus 2x plus 1.
High School Musical is a lot.
No, bro, that's the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah.
Okay, down here, you said we're shading below, so let me change that first. And then this one is negative 1/3. Negative 1/3 x squared plus 7.
Like me.
Okay, there's that one. And there's that one. What makes them fat? The fractions in front of x squared made your graphs fat. Okay,
Yeah.
so the first thing Marlon said was, man, those are fat. I was hoping he was talking about the graphs and not something else, but you know, you never know.
Yeah.
You just threw a shot
I
at
tell
yourself.
you. I tell
How you
you.
gonna throw a shot at yourself like that?
Okay,
The disrespect.
so my graphs are fat because of the fractions. Okay, so draw yourself a rough sketch of that.
I did.
You did?
My dumb is like wet tears.
Okay, so mine looks like this. Fantabulous. Any questions on quadratic inequalities?
No, man. I go.
Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up.
Hold up, hold up, hold
Hold
up.
up, hold up, hold up.
Sit
hold up.
down.
Talk.
Be starving. I'm
Right.
starving. Be humble.
Hold on, let me get this shut down.